Most people do not think about the user experience of a customer. So you win just by having good design. We are in the golden age when it comes to wealth transfer. And we are in the golden age as it comes to entrepreneurship. The creators of the future, the creators who are going to change the world, are going to be the people that master the art of taking an idea real fast and turning it into a piece of technology with AI. Why I tell people it's hard to beat me is because I follow systems and frameworks. Frameworks allow for me to go to step 1, step 2, step 3, and that's repeatable. Apps are not about trying to compete with big companies or build something big. Apps are all around solving. Sometimes you can create something simple that solves a great problem. I don't care what you do. If you don't have a piece of technology attached to your business, you are going to lose a lot of money in the future.
Once I get them in, how do I continue to add value and continue to keep them there?
That's a good question. There was a company called Webvan. A lot of people don't remember them, but they were like the Instacart, right? So they were like the Instacart back in the 90s. Great idea, too early, didn't validate, lost almost a lot of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So it doesn't matter if a company even raises capital, you can also lose a lot of money. So you could talk to customers. The second way is my favorite, okay? It is taking ideas that already exist and then validating them and then putting your spin on it. Because let me tell you, it is so many ideas. Like people say, I need a new original idea. No, listen, there are so many ideas and every company can't do everything right, Kay. Now, here's what I mean. Let's say you have an app. Let's say you have an idea for, let's say grant writing, right? There's grant writing software out there, but they do a couple things wrong. Even if they've raised, I'm talking about, even if they got 100 employees, they can't do everything right. Here's what I tell people. Here's my secret. One, maybe their pricing is too high. Maybe their pricing is too low. So you could come in as a premium leader. Maybe, just maybe, they might also have bad design. Usually 99% of, you think like, oh, everybody has good design. No, they don't. Most people do not think about the user experience of a customer. So you win just by having good design. Okay. So if you know about good design, you're going to win most of the time. Or they might even be missing features. I just talked about this on a podcast where I said sometimes when you have an app or a good idea for an app, then you might have too many features. So you want to simplify. That's what we're doing in my company, Maestro, which I'll talk about. We're actually simplifying the process, making our app easier. We have thousands of customers and we say, hey, we're going to go back to market. We're going to add AI. So see like things like AI, adding those things to your app makes it enhancer. So first, validate the idea, use the concept of going out there, find an idea that's already proven, that already has made money, already has customers, and then put your spin on it. Find out what's working, and then you can enter the market.
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Because, and for example, I see the other grant apps out there.
Yeah. And
I download them. To see from a consumer
what they're doing.
Yep. What are they doing? What can I do? Why don't I have an app? How can I, if I had this app, what would I do to make it better?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you said that because this is a strategy that I use.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
I have a question for you. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
What did you notice? So people can learn from it. What did you notice that they were missing? Now you don't have to say all of it.
Yeah. Number one thing is they're not user friendly.
Yeah.
Because you have to think most people don't even know what grants are.
Yeah.
Or if they know grants and if they know of grants, they think you have to be a nonprofit or they think it takes a long time to apply for them. So and I think most of them are also missing the education piece. So it's like, here's an app to help you get grants, but what are grants?
Exactly.
Yeah, and none of them are user friendly. None of them.
So you notice that. See, so right off the bat, you already said like, oh, if I wanted to launch this, then I could do it. I could dominate because most people don't think about design. So your app will already be better. And then even backing up for a second, like I don't think people realize like we are in the golden age when it comes to wealth transfer, and we are in the golden age as it comes to entrepreneurship because we used to didn't be able to have a seat at the table. Now we can, right? Because now with tools like the tools that we use to create these apps, now you can take an idea and be to market in a week or two. See, when I was developing Maestro back in 2016, I already spent $50,000 just for ideation, just to get the idea flushed out. Then I had to go find a developer. So now, so the tech industry in general is a $41 trillion industry, and it grows 15 to 20% every year. The average person, me and you, Kay, and I know my software bill. I know yours is high too, because you running a lot of stuff on your business, right? The average person in the last 6 months have downloaded almost 6 to 8 apps that they have paid for. So software and technology run our lives. The question I always tell people is, instead of you using AI, and there's nothing wrong with ChatGPT, but let's just be real. We're going to talk real today, right? ChatGPT is okay, but you can't necessarily make a lot of money from just having ChatGPT. The creators of the future, the creators who are going to change the world, are going to be the people that master the art of taking an idea real fast and turning it into a piece of technology with AI. That's the future.
That's so good.
That's the future.
It's so funny because I've done probably 4, 5 episodes today. Every episode, do you know what whether it was funding or transportation, or every episode has talked about incorporating grants into what I'm incorporating AI,
of course,
into what you do to make it better.
Yeah,
you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
It's absolutely no way around it.
Yep.
It's how do you can't, but AI is not enough, right? So it's incorporating the skill that you already know with AI and making it green.
Yeah, and you have to.
Okay.
So that's the first step.
Okay.
Right. So we got your grant software. We're gonna use you as this after this episode. Okay.
Let's do it.
Because we gotta get you an app.
Okay.
We gotta get you an app. And so let's even break down. People hear the word app first before we kind of go into that. Let's talk about there's different types of apps. Right. Okay. So there's 3 kind of like apps that a lot of people don't really know. So one is web app. These are like, you got Canva, right? Everybody uses Canva. Canva's like a $20 billion company, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we don't know. See, what we don't know is like these companies are valued at unfathomable valuations, because again, it's like we were in these bubbles, right? Like we're in these bubbles, but we don't know that very soon, even these tech companies we're going to say the T. And, we used to say the B, you were billions. Now you're going to say trillions. Like OpenAI is going to be $1 trillion company when they go public, right? A lot of people don't know that. Tesla is going to be when they get into robotics and AI, which they are, but when robotics go mainstream next year, that's going to also be $1 trillion company.
Okay.
So we're not going to say $1 billion companies we will, but it's like the bar has been raised. So I tell people, this is the golden age. You got to get in. You got to make sure that you take this stuff serious, right? You can start no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, no matter where you're starting off in business, you can create a great idea that the world needs.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So step number 1 is making it great.
Making it great.
Making it great. Making it better than anything else that's out there, but not coming up with some new idea, going out and find something that we can enhance.
Yeah. Find a concept that's already proven, and then see what they're doing wrong, see what the challenges are, see what those are.
Where do we go next?
So step number 2 is what we call prototyping. So prototyping takes a little bit more, we gotta now prototype. Now we gotta make it look clean. So we got our grant software. So now we know that the user experience is bad, right? We know now, how do we create a great experience? Well, that's what we go through. What would be the major steps that someone needs to do to experience your app? A lot of people think because they create an app, it don't necessarily mean people gonna buy it. Just because somebody create a product don't mean somebody gonna automatically buy that.
Right.
You have 30 to 60 seconds to get someone's attention, because we are in the attention age right now. We are in the attention age. What that means is that now people realize, oh, let me take this serious with this cell phone because I can make money from my cell phone. All I need is an internet connection. You got people out there that realize, oh, I have a laptop. Oh, I have this. So what you need to do is you have to be able to say, if somebody is downloading my app, like you said, when you downloaded these grant writing apps, you went in, you was like, the first thing you said was, this ain't it. This don't make me excited to want to create a grant. People have to be excited. They have to know within 30 to 60 seconds, this is going to help me. I did that the other day. Like I was actually like going through the process. I was like, you know what? I need a second number. So I was looking at some of the apps that did second phone numbers instead of, cause I ain't want to, okay, I'm old. I'm getting older. I don't want to have 2-3 phones like some of these. I was like, how do y'all manage? I can barely keep up with the one phone I got.
My other phone every day. I don't know where it's at right now.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be like, I can barely find my first phone. I don't want to have to locate the second one. So I'm like, let me get a second app. So I said, now there's technology where you can have an app. So what I did is I used this app. And I was going through the experience. All the user experiences were not good. All the user experience was super complicated. They were super overwhelming. And then there was one that I just press the buy button, $40 a year, done. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I love about apps. Technology allows for us to buy things and we don't overthink it. We know we need it and it's an easier sale. So prototyping is the first thing. How do you prototype? Well, you need to have tools. So there's different tools that I use. A lot of people say before, because in other shows I've been on, like Justin worked for Lovable, right? Because the first app we're gonna use is Lovable. Everybody say Justin worked for Lovable because you love Lovable. I do love Lovable, okay? So Lovable gonna sponsor one of these podcasts. I'm telling you, you're gonna see it. Yeah, come on, Lovable. Listen, but I do like the way that Lovable updates their product. They have a really great product that they update. And then I do love the way that they update their products. There's also Replit. If you guys have heard of Replit, that's also another app that you can use. And then there's one called Create Anything. I do like Create Anything. If you want to, I usually don't mention this, but I'm on the K show, so we're gonna drop some new resources.
This is access.
This is access granted. Okay, we're gonna do this one. So one of the things I also use is something called Claude Code. So Claude Code is also how you can also, use. Look, I was like, look, you need to be right because we about to create your app. So then what you could do is what you want to do is you want to go to these apps. And here's what I tell people. The more specific that you are about describing what your application does and the problem and the biggest challenges that it solves, that's how you're going to basically get something. What most people do, and these systems are usually ran by a credit system, right? So they usually ran by credit. So if you build something, they're going to take credits and you got to buy credits, right, to build your app. But let me tell you something. I spent over $1 million developing my platform. A lot of people don't know that. So I spent like no lie. Like I spent developers are not cheap. Technology is not cheap. Okay. So, but put it like this, like that has paid for itself and then some because I've been able to grow my technology company. Right. So like I tell people, technology, when you build pieces of technology, you're not just getting the income, you're getting the asset. So a lot of times we build income machines, but then if that income machine dry up, what do you have? You don't have the asset, right? The asset is gone. So now what we have when we're creating technology companies, we're creating income and we're also creating assets, because the average company, let's say most people don't think like this. They don't think about how can I build something that I can sell one day? Like, do you know, a lot of entrepreneurs not thinking like that. It's just like, how can I get to the bag?
The right now coin.
Right now. How can I get to the right now coin and make the most money that I can right now? Well, listen, that's a short-term thinking mentality, right? The thing I'm thinking about is how can I create my coins? How can I create income? But then how can I also be able to sell it? And tech companies sell for 5 to 10x. Sometimes they sell a little bit less, but they usually sell for 5 to 10x multiple of whatever their revenue is. So when you think about what you're building, that's the great part about it. So we call it prototyping. So you go on these apps, you tell it exactly what you want to build. So now what we building? A grant writing.
Yep.
Okay. What's going to make I'm going to use this on you so everybody can learn. All right. What's the biggest thing that you want people to experience with your grant writing app? What is it that you want them to experience?
Landing the grants at their fingertips, like the grants being right there.
Okay. What's the greatest challenges though? When you saw the user experience, what was stopping them from basically finding grants?
On the other apps, they didn't list them at all.
They didn't list the grants?
No.
Okay. So before the person go, we know that the goal is to get them to find the grants. How can we create an experience to where I understand the value of a grant? What would you say that be? The education.
Education, yeah.
So you got to first teach them, right? When they get, as soon as they get on the app, even in less than 60 seconds, there might be a 60-second video in step one, showing them exactly what to do.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, so that's step one. What's step two?
Step two is once I show you what to do, I would probably encourage you to write out a simple paragraph that outlines your problem and solution statement, which is probably something I would teach you in step one, and your impact. So doing the thing that I teach you in step one.
Okay, let's make that easier, right? Let's make that's great. But then what we could do in step two is we can have an AI, we can have a box. Look, I tell people,
of course, write it out with AI.
We're gonna write it out with AI. We're gonna have a box right there, and all they're gonna do is it's gonna say enter in the field that you're in, or what is the greatest challenge that you're having that you need a grant for, or what your business is. Once we do that, then AI is gonna we can have something real fancy, okay? Because you fancy, so we gotta have some. We gotta have something fancy. We gotta have some, some sparkling, some glitter popping up. We gotta have wheels turning.
I'm not a sparkle glitter fancy girl. Make it be some coins, like Mario
we can
coins.
We can have some Mario coin. We can have something spinning. The wheels spinning, so it's like it's loading, but it's an experience. Right? We create an experience. So then, what we could do is say, here are the grants that match to you. Like that would be step three. Here's the grants that we would recommend to you.
Okay.
And then we give them potentially maybe one or two grants as an experience to separate us from everybody else. So we might give them one or two so they can experience the power of grants. And then we could say, if you want to see more, click here to subscribe for a trial. And then now we're bringing people into the experience of our app. We let them experience. One of the things I tell people when I coach them and help them with their app is I say, if you are creating a technology company, you have 30 to 60 seconds to get their attention. But then here's the next step. Okay. It is that you have to give them an experience. Otherwise they leave and they have a bad experience. So that experience is, if you put up too many walls, like if you say sign up, like probably those apps did, and they went, it's like going on a date. Okay. It's like going on a date and right away you like, come on, we about to get married. We about to go to the next. It ain't gonna work. So with this one, what we're doing is we're creating experiences. We're saying, hey, look, now I got you into this world. Now I'm going to give you a taste of what's on the other side of this world. I'm going to remove all the barriers so that you get the attention, so that you can capture and get an experience. That's what makes people pull out their credit card and want to subscribe to your app.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And so once I get them in, how do I continue to add value and continue to keep them there?
That's a good question. So what we gotta do is we gotta create an experience. Everything is an experience. So you want to do so we give everybody like things that they should do when you're building an app. So one, the best thing that you could do is in 3 to 5 steps, somebody should know exactly what to do next when they come into your app. So that's one. 2, you want to gamify the experience. So people we all have grew up on games. Gamifying experiences, giving people things like badges as they complete steps. You want to give them like a gaming experience so they can earn badges if they say, for example, if they click out and fill out the form for their grant, they get a certain amount of percentages, and then that unlocks maybe more training, more free training if they do this. So you take people psychologically through an experience each way. Okay. That's one way. The other way is you want to have a great onboarding experience. The better way that you onboard somebody and they can experience your product. If they know what to do in 3 or 4 or 5 steps, they're going to automatically subscribe to your app. They're going to automatically subscribe to your product. Those just a few things that
makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And I have a community, and I never really I see the need of, gamifying and giving the deeper experience to keep them in. But I think a lot of the things that we're doing there converts over to what we should be doing in the app as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And many people don't do that.
I love that. I love it. I love it. I'm excited about it. We're gonna make this
Yeah,
happen.
we're gonna build the best grant writing app in the world. We got to do it. We
It's
got to
gonna be
make it happen.
done. By the time this launch, it's gonna be done.
Exactly.
It's gonna be done. So if I wanted to get started, you teach and educate people on how to start and generate and create their apps.
Yeah.
So do you do it in like a challenge, or you have a community? How do you?
So we do like a summit, right?
Okay.
So it's a great summit. It's over 2 days.
Okay.
We host it, and
So you can teach me this in 2 days.
I can teach you this in 2 days. Yeah. Now, see, let me tell you, because there's a lot of hype out there. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
So the reason why is because when you spend $1 million developing something, you learn a little thing or two of how to do it a little faster. I think because all the $1 million I spent wasn't all spent in the greatest place. Okay. It wasn't spent all right. So I made a lot of mistakes. So when you make mistakes, you learn from those, and you're able to fast forward and process things a lot faster, where you get to, okay, here's what to do next. Here's what to say. So I tell people this: everything in life has a framework. When you use frameworks, you accelerate your success. Many people let me tell you something. Like, if we was in a room, I would like to say I'm smart, but I ain't gonna say I'm the smartest tech person ever, right? I'm not. Why I tell people it's hard to beat me is because I follow systems and frameworks. Frameworks allow for me to go to step 1, step 2, step 3, and that's repeatable, right? And so I can use frameworks to be able to do it. So when people say, just like with you've been looking at grants so long that you can do it in your sleep, right?
Absolutely.
So you probably have frameworked this out for the people in your community, but with me, I did the same thing. So I'm like, okay, step 1, I got to do this when I'm launching a tech company. So we created this 2-day summit, really helped a lot of people, and we get so many testimonials and people who are, working moms, or just the amazing people who are able to birth ideas just from that.
That's good. And I love that you said birth ideas. So what would be a good app to start? Like, how do I know? Like, do I go off my passion? Do I go off the need? Do I go off what's already out there and make it great? Like, what's a good app and a good starting point for somebody who just wants to do an app?
I mean, so you always can start with passion, but I tell people, don't be so consumed in your passion that you overrate it. Let me say that again. Don't be so consumed in your passion that you overrate your passion. Not to say you don't love your passion, but the fastest way to determine this is there are 3 industries that are the largest industries in the world. So this is what people purchase, right, in the world. So one is people love to increase their wealth. So you can put most financial stuff. So the biggest industry in the world is wealth, which is like, that could be mostly everything around money, right? Then relationships. So people purchase all around relationships, how to make their relationships better, how to make themselves better, those type of things. And then you have health, but that's not just the way that you look in food. That's mental health. That's, enhancing yourself. So if your passion is attached to those 3 industries, then they're going to be profitable, right? Because they're proven to buy. If your app is not attached to those, not to say that people won't buy it, but you got to prove out that you're passionate. So I tell people, the more you have passion about something that's attached to where you can say, I can actually monetize my passion, I can make money from it, you're going to have longevity.
Oh, that's good.
People see, because if you do an idea that you're not attached to, or you have no skin in the game or no connection to, when it gets hard, it's easier to leave it. It's easier to disconnect from it. It's easy to be like, oh, I did that, and I don't, because you don't have any skin in the game. You don't know. Just like if you've spent so many years perfecting your craft as it comes to grants. But if I told you to start technology with apps, and you're going to be like, what? And you may see the money in it, and that's the issue with doing things just for the money. Right. So you have to have the component, because if you're invested in it and you're connected to it, like, actually, it was so funny because one of my clients who I'm helping build an app for, we went through the same thing. We was on the call, and she was like, I want to do this app for schools. Right. And I said, okay, what are you doing now? And she's an accountant. And I was like, well, why? Like, and we started going through the call, and my team was on the call with us. And I was like, well, why did she say? Because it's a big problem. And I said, well, listen, You haven't been so deep in it. How long have you been an accountant? So I just started like going backwards. I was like, how long have you been an accountant for? She's like, 20 years. I said, 20 years. How many clients do you have right now? And she said, I got 20 clients. I said, you got 20 clients that every month their money comes out of that account to you for value, but you haven't discovered the problem and why they're paying you, that you can build an app or a technology around. And she was like, well, I haven't thought about it. So as we unwinded it, she realized that, yeah, if I was to run into problems with this school thing, I probably will either A, give up, or B, not have an attachment to it.
Which you said what most people do.
That's what most people do.
Start anyway.
Exactly. So now we discovered that she had the problem, because in her mind she's overthinking it. She's like, well, there's QuickBooks and there's all these app people that I have to connect with. And I said, listen, you overthinking the process. We're not trying to see apps. The thing I tell people is apps are not about trying to compete with big companies or build something big. Apps are all around solving. Sometimes you can create something simple that solves a great problem. There's I was reading this today. I was sending this out to my group. There's an app that, and this is a mobile app, right? This is not a web app, but there's you measure tape. You know, talking about measuring tape. There's a tape measuring app where literally this company is doing this person who created this is making $300,000 a month from just a simple app that measures that, because people can't they need to measure stuff. I know I
do it all the time, and I have to call my daddy and be like, Dad, what's that foot trick you taught me again to measure stuff? So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you measure. So now with this one, you could just press it, measure across with the screen. It'll tell you exactly what the centimeters and all the other stuff is. That app does $300,000 a month.
What?
It solves a simple problem and it doesn't do a lot. So listen, look, you leave. Okay, so let me lean in for a second. But the point
the app is free, right?
No, so a version of it is free.
Okay.
So that's what I was telling you.
Yeah.
The more that you take down the gatekeeping,
okay,
you give them an experience and they love it, there's other ways to monetize it where people will pay. So you can make a version of it free, like create a light version. And then it's just like Canva. Canva, some of it is free.
It's free.
Yeah, but when you start using more premium features, or you wanted to do more, or you wanted to add more people to it, then you have to then pay.
That is so good. I'm over here like, I'm leaving money on the table.
You're leaving a lot of money on the table. Here's what I tell people. Whenever, number one, I don't care what you do, whether you're a coach, whether you are an influencer, whatever you do, if you don't have a piece of technology attached to your business, you are going to lose a lot of money in the future.
Well, I'm about to have one now because I'm not waiting no more.
You shouldn't. We should already have the grant writing software. We should already have that.
Like, it's definitely, there are so many people in our space who have it, but it's definitely missing.
Yeah.
I love that. So we're going to spend 2 days together.
Yeah.
You're going to show me how to build out my app.
Yeah. And
then after those 2 days, what's next?
Listen, you got to come on the summit and find out. But what we tell people is like, I go through my 4-step formula on that, which is what we talked about today. We talked about a couple of components. We talked about how to find a good idea, the ideation part, the prototyping, how do you create it? And then the last two, which we can kind of touch on, but they might have to say that for the summit, which is distribution and profit.
Okay.
Distribution is how you get people to consume your app, because 95% of people who actually either hire developers, they never launch their app. So that's what it is. That's why I tell people this is about a system to help you to be able to really launch what it is that you're doing.
That is so good.
Yeah.
You been hiding all this from me?
I've been hiding it. Look, you've been too busy. You've been too busy. You got your podcast. Look, it's only been we've been talking like we've been forever.
It's been like 3 months.
It's been like
really.
No, that was a month and a half ago that I saw you.
It was, yeah. So it's been like it
ain't been that long. It ain't been that long. Yeah.
And then when you did see me, I was sneaking out of the conference.
Yeah, you was coming in and out. I was like, but then shout out to our friend Mike. He was like, y'all got to connect, and yeah, you definitely need an app, because anytime that you are able to attach a piece of technology to what it is, it makes the experience of even other people going through your trainings or your courses or your coaching 10 times better.
I love that because I do a free webinar, and right now I'm thinking, and I have thousands of people that register for my free webinar. If I have 10,000 people register, sometimes only about 1,000 show up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what can I do to give the other 9,000 the experience to where they still connect with me, or they get the thing that I'm telling them they can do? I know these other 9,000 are interested in grants because they signed up.
Exactly.
So how do I go grab them and get their experience? But another thing is people learn different. Some people don't want to sit in a webinar. Some people will be okay with sitting through a 60, 90-second course and reading the other information. So my head is spinning right now of all the money I've been leaving on the table, and how we just going to make this happen.
We got to make it happen for you. That's all. We'll figure it out. I got you, Kay. It's you. So I got you. I'm going to help you. It's all good.
Is there any, what advice would you give to the entrepreneur that's watching this? I always like to ask people this question, but the entrepreneur who's watching this, and maybe they launched the app, and maybe they lost their passion in their app, or maybe they started an app and lost their passion and didn't launch it, or maybe they just haven't started at all, but they feel like they have something that would be successful, but they don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I mean, so in launching anything, you have to be willing to fail, but you have to you have to basically change your relationship with failure. See, so many people have this relationship. See, like for me, growing up on the south side of Chicago, where I had nothing to lose and everything to gain, I developed a different relationship with failure because I had been through so much darkness and I've been through so many things. And my mother never made over $20,000 in a year taking care of me and my sister. Because I went through that dark moment, I got to a place where I could choose either to how I interpret pain. I could say pain is something that is bad for me and is terrible and is here to beat me up and is here to make sure that I don't succeed. Well, that's how much of a creator that you are in life, that you can actually create a bad reality, and they don't want you to know that. But then there's another side where you can be like, you know what? What is this pain trying to tell me? Maybe I don't have the money, or maybe maybe I got fired from the job like what I did. Maybe I got fired from the job because it was trying to set me into my destiny and have a destiny moment. Maybe that's why I'm here. When you have those perceptions, then life opens up and says, oh, let me give you more. Let me give you more opportunities. Let me give you more podcast interviews. Let me give you more exposure. Let me get you around the right people. Let me move the wrong people from around you. We don't see, it's all about your interpretation. Everybody has an interpretation. It's just like we have a different interpretation of people, right? Everything is your perception. But here's the crazy part. The choices that you make become your reality. The decisions that you made 6 months ago, or even a couple years ago, you living out now. So I tell people all the time, people say, just why are you so on fire? Why is it that you take so much action? Why are you so hungry? And I say, listen, because I don't want to be like 6 months from now, the decisions that I was living, I'm living out because of bad decisions or the lack of decisions that I didn't make. So wherever you are, you could be a successful business owner. There's levels to it. Go bigger, think bigger, make different decisions. If you're watching this and let's say, you're at a point where you're like, I don't know what to do next. Guess what? You do know what to do next. You just have to activate and say, let me make different choices for tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, that was good. That was fire.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm glad we did this.
We gotta launch an app now.
Yeah, we definitely, y'all, the app will be launched by the time this episode watch. Y'all know I don't tell y'all no stories. Y'all know I don't tell no stories. We gonna have that app together.
We got to.
How long does it normally take to build a successful app?
So, it depends, right? Like prototyping. So prototyping, we call it prototyping, is without the functionality can be a few days. It just depends on how many hours you put in. Some people, they go really hard and they go, I'm gonna do it, and they launch a prototype in 3 or 4 days. It just depends on the functionality. Sometimes if you have something that does a little bit like harder work, it might take a couple weeks. But let's just put it like this. Here's what I tell people. Give yourself 60 days. 60 days, look, it used to take a year to get an app even functional that has some good functionality. 60 days is decent. I tell people, like, I'm not going to hype it up. Like, you should be able to get something very nice, I'm gonna help you with it. Okay. And launching from the start of the process to the end of the process, 60 days is a good time to really launch and have something that can be that looks good, that's functional, that has the right components. You can get that done in 60 days.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. So listen, I want you to look at the camera for me, and I want you to tell them how they can connect with you and how they can join this 2-day summit so that they can get their app.
Yeah. So y'all can follow me on Instagram, CEO Justin Burns, and y'all got to come to the 2-day Apps Built with AI Summit. It's at appsbuiltwithai.com. Register. I know, other people have been on trainings. This is a little bit different. I train way different. So we're going to have fun. We're going to learn how to take an idea, turn it into something that can change the world and change our bank accounts. So that's the 2-day summit.
I love it. All right, you guys, this has been another amazing episode of Access Granted. I want you to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with 3 people that you love. See you next time.